This episode of Between Two Burns is brought to you by The Pipe and Pint. Indulge in the finer things in life with our premium selection of cigars, wine, and pipe tobacco. Visit us at any of our brick-and-mortar locations or shop online at thepipeandpint.net. Mix and match 20 cigars for 10% off and enjoy free shipping on all orders over $150. From Rocky Patel to Drew Estate, we carry all your favorite brands. Must be 21 or older to purchase. The Pipe and Pint, elevating your relaxation experience. Now, enjoy the show.
Day one, Between Two Burns, PCA Recap.
Live from the trade show floor.
From the show floor, man. Ethan Botts, your first PCA. What do you think so far, dude?
It's an honor and a privilege.
An honor and a privilege?
Honor and a privilege.
Is it, obviously, we're here today and tomorrow. Is this your first impression, what you thought it might be or what you hoped it would be?
Yeah. I think I said to you earlier, it's exactly what I hoped it would be. You're in the mix. You see all the new stuff, people moving, going. Everything's cool. You get to try a lot of new stuff. See some companies that we've never worked with before. But it's also nice just being able to see people. Like we got to see Pete Johnson today, and we got to sit down and talk with Kyle Gellis and Terrence Riley, and it's just really cool being in the mix and just being here with everybody.
Yeah. So for those of you that may be watching for the first time or listening for the first time or just don't know what this is. So we're in New Orleans. PCA, the Premium Cigar Association, is is the main industry trade show and representation group for the cigar industry. So we're here annually. This is both your and I's first time in New Orleans. It's been here in the past, but since we've been in the business, it's been been in Las Vegas the last couple of years. And this is where everybody in the business gets together, introduces new product, kind of goes over what the year is to bring. And we're loaded with appointments all day. We've seen some cool stuff already in the first day.
Worked you like a dog today.
Worked me like a dog today. No big deal there. But that's what it's for. It's fun. We're having a great time. We went to the PCA opening party in the park last night. The weather was awesome. It was beautiful. Food was great. Music was cool. And then we got right at it today. We've seen a bunch of people, and we've smoked some good stuff already.
This is for all intents and purposes, obviously, retailers and manufacturers, but as a cigar geek, this is like a cigar geek's dream, right? Like
goodness, yeah.
New stuff, getting to smoke it before it comes out, getting to talk with people, ask them questions, like super geeky questions. I was talking with Kyle Gellis today and asked him some questions that I'd have never got to ask him otherwise, but because we were sitting there talking, it was like, nobody else really cares about this, but I'm geeky, so I do. And it was really cool.
And it's great, too, because, when you come to this stuff, and I can't speak to other industries, but when you go to other trade shows, I would assume in industries, some of the company owners are probably people you want to meet and talk to. But in this industry, so many of these companies are very hands-on, right?
Yep.
Like Kyle's got appointments all day, but was gracious enough when you're in with his appointment.
We met
with him
personally.
He knows where we are. We consider him a friend and everything like that. So it's awesome. Lots of cool stuff. I'm already going to put you on the spot with the cigar you're smoking. I'm smoking La Capitana. It's a new Ecuadorian Connecticut from Villiger, which we had heard about before. Wanted to try it on the first day. Now, for those who can imagine, we have been smoking cigars nonstop. Producer Greg's over there. He's been taking photos for every company known to man today. He's been smoking cigars nonstop, but we've had one lit the entire day.
I did have a couple palate cleansing
a couple of Zins, it was just basically like in the cigar world, it's like ginger to sushi.
That's exactly right. It helps cleanse the palate. How is it so far?
It's good.
You're
it's
a Connecticut guy, so
I do like it as Connecticut. Like I said, we've had so many today that it can be ruined a little bit because everything kind of blends together. We've saved some of the cigars that we're really excited to try.
Yeah.
For maybe after hours in the evening.
Yeah, specifically Perdomo Legacy.
Perdomo Legacy we got to see today. We're super excited about that. We're able to land a sample of the sun-grown.
Shade-grown Corojo Cameroon seed hybrid wrapper proprietary to Perdomo.
Yep.
All over the place.
Yep. That was obviously one of the big releases at the show. I think is probably and talked about is going to be that cigar.
From what we were told, anyways, it does sound like the most talked about cigar at this very moment, though, is the My Father Honduras, which we unfortunately didn't get
Couldn't
today.
land some samples of. Maybe we're going to sneak some in the morning. We've been told if we come back early because our appointment was later in the afternoon that they would be restocked back up with us for able to grab one. We're both excited. And again, we won't smoke that tomorrow. I wouldn't think we'd wait.
No, I'd
wait till after hours.
Yeah,
we'll smoke it tomorrow, but after the fact, just so we can get a good, legitimate review on it. I mean, we're not here to review we've ordered it. We're taking the cigar. We bought it. But that seems to be one that everybody is kind of talking about, which is cool.
Yeah, I think real quick, new stuff that we saw today. I'm going to do a rundown,
Give me a rundown
of everything, and then I want to ask you what your favorite thing from today was.
Okay, I'll drink beer while you run it down. We've been
it.
drinking beer as well. We found our booth that just serve it on tap.
God bless you, Rocky Patel.
Thank you, Rocky Patel, and your folks.
Abita Amber. It's cold and it's wet and it's delicious. All right, so new stuff. So Drew Estate, obviously, Deadwoods Dominicana. Looks awesome. Packaging is great. Got that coming. From Warped, we saw the Corto Maduro. We saw El Oso in both the Connecticut and the Maduro. We saw the new Gellis Family Absolute. From Tatuaje, we saw, it looks like a big focus on Corojo this year.
Yep.
We got to smoke the 7th Corojo, which was awesome. 7th Tuxtla is coming out. Later in this year, we're going to be seeing Avion, T110, and Cojete Corojo, along with the shipment date on this isn't until actually next year, but PCA exclusive for this year is a Corojo, which is awesome. From Aganorsa, we obviously got to see JFR 20th anniversary, the new Supreme Leaf Toro. We saw the My Father Blue. We saw the JJ 20th. We saw the El Rey 20 count boxes. Boy, what else did we see? We got to see, who else did we do today?
We hit it with Drew, like you said, Drew. We went to Tatuaje. We went to Warped. We saw the new
Fratello releases, which was really
Fratello
cool.
releases.
Fuente.
Oh, big stuff at Fuente.
We were talking about, what kind of surprises were we going to see, and we knew that Fuente was coming out with the Don Carlos 90th because we saw it on Half Wheel yesterday, but they actually have 4 new cigars coming out.
It's going to be incredible.
Don Carlos 90th. They've got some kind of bull thing that had bull testicles hanging out behind it. I don't know.
Bloody bull testicles.
Bloody bull testicles. Yeah. Anyways,
what do you think of that?
The Sex Panther.
Sex Panther, huge miss not calling it Sex Panther.
Yep.
All the other rare pinks have sexualized names, and then we just went with black pink on this when it's got a Black Panther on it.
Sex Panther.
I mean, you could literally go with 60% of the time it comes every time. You know what I mean? I don't understand why we didn't go that way. But
we saw the new River Valley. We saw Opus 25th and Churchill size. We saw something that looked like a Forbidden 13 that had a name to it that I don't even remember. We saw the new Padron PB99, which is a 6.5 by 60. So a lot of cool stuff today. So what was your favorite thing?
I'm going to categorize it a little bit, okay? So from the business perspective of it, from sales in the shop, apologize, got something bothering my nose there. I think that's going to be Dominicana. I expect that cigar to be one of the top SKUs in Drew's portfolio in our store within a year.
Yep.
Assuming stock levels stay where you would expect them and everything like that. I would think that's going to be one of the best-selling cigars. Now, that's not a cigar for me. I'm not a flavored cigar smoker, so that's, I'm not super excited personally to smoke that, but I think from a business perspective, that's going to be a huge cigar. The other things that really stood out for, obviously, both and I are very excited to smoke Third Legacy and the Honduran, the My Father Blue. Both have a place in our humidor, for sure. We have both huge customer support for Perdomo and My Father, so they belong in our humidor as new offerings. That shade grown from them is something they haven't done before. It's very unique. And then neither of us you and I would consider ourselves like massive fans of Honduran cigars, generally speaking. So to have somebody like my father doing one, I think really excites us. The one that I just really was like pleased and excited about is that Don Carlos, the 90th, because of at least the reported price point for a rarity from them is awesome.
Well, and not just any rarity either. From what we were told today, it sounds like there's only about 100 boxes of this cigar.
It's
that
at
are
100 to
release.
150, 90 count boxes.
Yep.
So.
And we are supposed to be getting one by what we were told.
Yep.
Take it with a grain of salt. You never know.
Yep.
But $13 MSRP.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
For something that's going to be that limited.
Yeah.
Now, who knows how that changes when it actually lands and everything like that, but you know, I don't think you can say 13 now and then come back with 40. So it's going to be one of the more affordable. It's gorgeous. The box is awesome. Listen, if you anybody who's watching, anybody who's listening, if you are a supporter of the way we do Opus drops and how we handle that, and you're one of the ones waiting in line at the store for us and everything like that, you're going to be super stoked with what's coming up, probably in our first drop of the year, hopefully sooner than later. The stuff that we've seen,
We got some bangers.
we're not going to reveal them because you're going to have to wait and see. They're going to be sick.
Yep.
I mean, sick. They have, and our sales rep there was describing this maybe in one of their best shows, certainly since he's been with them. Their booth was electric. There was a ton of people there, and the different offerings from them, not the same stuff, going out on a limb a little bit. You'll get more details on this Don Carlos with having basically, you may have already mentioned this, but having 2 wrappers on it, like unheard of. So this stuff's going to be pretty cool. Like that, I'm probably most excited. Again, don't know if maybe 90, like I'd be willing to smoke one and keep one, but you know how we kind of like do it with Opus. A lot of times we don't get to try that stuff. But I mean, yeah. But from a smoking perspective, I think it's going to be, as of right now, what we saw in day one. I think it's the Honduran. Yeah. Now we've got there's some bangers tomorrow, bud.
Well, I will get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Real quick, hey, producer Greg, you can't hear him, but I'm going to ask him, and I'll repeat what he says. What was the best thing you saw today? He's thinking.
Yeah, he's thinking.
What's the best thing you saw today?
And you can't say anything dirty because there was people walking around that you could say that was the best thing you saw.
Yeah,
today.
the weirdest thing I saw today was a chick wearing a onesie, wearing a Panther head
mask
on. That was cool, I guess.
Did you like the Sex Tooth booth? Did you see them, those guys?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, by the way.
Yeah. The Placencia booth is hopping. We have them tomorrow.
Yep.
We're excited about that. That's a cigar for tomorrow.
Yep. Have you smoked anything new today? You smoked the Foundation 10th anniversary. You got to smoke the Foundation 10th anniversary.
Before we did?
Greg has Foundation 10th anniversary, so if you mug him, you may find one. And if we don't get one tomorrow now, I'm going to be
fucking pissed.
Devastated.
Sorry for the cussing.
Devastated. All right, well, I just gave Greg the finger in my head.
That's right.
Well, good for you. For me, since you asked, that wasn't Blue or Legacy.
I don't know if you already mentioned the tap that we had was great.
That probably is it.
Yeah.
Because the 7th Corojo coming in at like $10 or $11.
Mm-hmm.
That I love that wrapper. I love that this year's focused on that wrapper. It was a great cigar to start the day with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. And also what I'm smoking right now. So that was something that I was excited to see. Companies I've never heard of,
waiting
right?
for you to get to this, yeah.
And we were sitting in the Aganorsa meeting where our rep was watching his son play Little League Baseball and not talking to us.
Shout out, Palm.
Yeah. And right next to
you may
them,
not be employed with Aganorsa by the time this podcast is over, but
right as we were sitting there, the booth next to them was. I don't mean to sound ignorant, but it was either Chinese or Japanese, right? They had the writing and the ashtrays and everything, and so I decided to get up during our meeting and go over there and talk to them. And it's a company, and forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, called Chimolly, Chimolly. According to them, they're making cigars in a small factory called Mi Havana using Aganorsa and AJ tobacco.
Which appeared to be news to Aganorsa.
Yeah, no kidding. Some younger guys, and they explained everything to me, gave us some samples, and I'm smoking whatever the blue one was that I can't remember the name of because the writing's in Chinese, and it is great. Like, I am shocked at how good it is.
Yeah, and we talked to Greg about it when he sat down. Like he had heard, and we had heard like people talking about it a little bit. And listen, not going to blow you away with the booth. It was just one little showcase.
No, and it's not in a great spot.
They were facing the back of the conference center here, looking at the back door, and the breeze was blowing in on them.
But it was fascinating because he was telling me, in China, and we talked about this before, Cuban cigars are the market. And so what they wanted to do was they were geeky. They were like, we used to smoke cigars together in college with no bands on it to try and figure out where the tobacco was from. And so what they wanted to do was they wanted to create something Cuban-esque that wasn't using Cuban tobacco because they can't get it, obviously.
Yep.
And so that's what they did with this brand. And, man, it's really good.
It's so... And that's one of the cool things we get to do. Like, our humidor is packed full. All of our stores is packed full. We have very little room for anything that's not already associated with somebody we carry. And people ask me that all the time, like, what are you going to carry? It's like, but listen, if I got to bring 12 boxes in, 12 boxes got to go off, and we're kind of curated to what we sell. But it is kind of cool. Not more than kind of. It's very cool to see these small companies maybe we don't get to do business with, and maybe something like this sparks new business, that it just, really catches you off guard. That, I have one of these to smoke yet, and I want to smoke it based on recommendation. But a company like that, so unassuming over there, very hidden, to have something just really pop out like that is, I don't want to say unheard of, but it's pretty close to unheard of.
Yeah,
right?
and I mean,
we don't know who this company is. We have to my knowledge, I have never seen them anywhere.
Never heard of them.
I haven't seen it in advertising. I haven't seen it on social media.
No, and I mean, the cigar, here's the thing. The cigar retails for $16. And dare I say that it's worth the $16? And that's after smoking 5 cigars today, or how many ever it's been. I mean, the flavor is fantastic on it. So I'm excited to smoke the other.
What was the other wrapper on it? Was there a Maduro?
So this one is a Habano wrapper with Nicaraguan binders and Nicaraguan and Dominican fillers. The other one is a Corojo wrapper with San Andreas binder and Nicaraguan and Dominican fillers. And then they had one more that they didn't have samples of. And like I said, man, it's great. And like this is the cigar geek part that I'm really enjoying, because like I never would have heard of them had we not been here. But like I genuinely, I don't know that we bring them in, but like I may look to buy some of these for myself.
And I trust your opinion on it, because you're not one to placate just because they gave you one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not around them right now, so like you can give your honest opinion of it, and you know that like where it stands to have such a rave review about it.
Yep.
What? I don't want to turn negative. Is there anything that kind of disappointed you at all so far? Nothing really stands out for me. I mean,
honestly, the disappointing thing is the fact that we don't have anywhere else to smoke outside of the trade show floor.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer.
I mean, New Orleans is awesome. We had some unbelievable breakfast.
We're going to take
I've told everybody about this breakfast we had. It was unbelievable.
Well, you might as well tell the live stream, since you've told every person in this.
It was a place called Bearcat, and I had a biscuit with a piece of fried chicken on it and a crawfish gravy and a sunny side up egg. And
it was
10
so
out of
good.
10. I mean, I
it
cannot
so
recommend
good. The restaurant,
it enough.
Bearcat CBD in New Orleans. I can't remember the street. Right around the corner from us on Barron Street. It was awesome.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah. So we're gonna take full advantage. I think we're hitting some Bourbon Street, maybe. Maybe
do
the casino this evening.
A little gambling, a little Caesars.
Can't be all work. He's worked me like a dog. I need a shower and a little nap, maybe on the sofa, or whatever.
Tomorrow, what are you looking forward to the most?
So we've got a whole heap of people to see tomorrow. Even though Dingbat over there has already smoked the 10th anniversary.
I'm mad at you, by the way.
That's probably you may correct me on this, is probably the most exciting for tomorrow. That really stands apart.
So there's 3 cigars, and honestly, Foundation 10th wasn't even on my list because I didn't think we'd get to smoking. If we don't get to smoking, I'm going to take Greg's sample from his dead hands.
Yeah,
not really. I'm not going to kill Greg. But that cigar, the New World 10th anniversary, if they have samples, who knows if they do, and then the new Plasencia.
Yeah, the new Plasencia, that got announced kind of as we were coming here.
Yeah, I feel like we were at the party yesterday.
Yeah, there was nothing. A lot of these companies kind of leak out or put out in press what they're coming out with, and that one was really just we were flying in and saw it on social.
One thing fascinating about that cigar, and I can't. It's Almaday, like it looks like cello, but it's not. It's the word for sky, if I'm not mistaken. But it's interesting because the tobacco comes from a farm that's 3,500 feet above sea level. But the first thing I thought was, wow, that's a lot like wine, right? Like a lot of wineries, the higher you get, the better the grapes are, and that goes for Napa, that goes for Italy, and that's a prized grape in the wine industry. So hopefully the cigar will be good, and it's not just going to be a gimmick. If anybody's going to do it well, it's going to be Plasencia. So I hope it's good.
Yeah, and then we've got Rocky tomorrow, Rocky 30th.
Yeah, we also
Max grab us the Year of the Snake.
Got the Year of the Snake,
Year of the
Habano
Snake.
Maduro wrapper, I think.
Shout out to them for providing the alcohol for today's pod.
God bless them. One that I'm interested about is this new Esteban Carreras cigar. It's a Maduro Sweet Cap.
Yeah,
never
we
done
have
a
them.
Sweet Cap before other than Hawaiian Breeze, but if it's good, it could be a Fat Bottom Betty competitor.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see and what they come in on price point. So we've got this show may have the most. I may just be off base, so I'm just going off of my own personal kind of remembering here, but may have the most new lines, not just line extensions that I remember in the last few shows, right? Because, My Father Blue, new line. Dominicana is a new line to them. It's not an extension.
Now that we're sitting here thinking about it, this is kind of you getting what you wish for. To return back to core.
Very core. Very core. Yeah, stuff that we're going to be able to count on being in there.
And outside of El Septimo's dumbass $25 million humidor, I haven't seen any. Greg agrees with me, Jason. I just want you to know that.
You don't think it's reasonable to charge $25 million for a Fabergé egg cigar humidor? Don't know. Then you don't know luxury.
Franklin asked me to go up and lick it, and I was like, "Well, is it a Cadbury egg humidor? Because then it may actually be worth some money."
I'd buy a Cadbury egg humidor.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't even like Cadbury eggs.
Yeah,
those things suck.
But we also haven't seen any expensive cigars. Like even my father's JJ 20th, which I assumed was going to be $40, $22.
Or $22, yeah.
$22 MSRP. Foundation's 10th anniversary, $35 MSRP, if I'm not mistaken. Like, yeah, they're expensive, but they're not $50, $60, $70, $80, $100.
Not what we saw coming out last year.
Correct.
And that's why we're going to go. I'm going to circle all the way back to it. That's why I was just dropped your lunch, bro. That's why I was so just taken aback when you told me what that Don Carlos price was.
Yeah.
Because if you're able to follow us on social media, on Instagram, we've been story picking and live streaming all the kind of stuff today. You can see a picture of the packaging of that. That's legit humidor case that comes in, not paper packaging and stuff like that.
From what we were told, these cigars were rolled in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been aging, and I guess Carlito found them and was like, we need to sell these, but we can't sell them because I guess the color of the wrapper leaf was off. So instead of throwing them away, they decided that they were just going to put another wrapper leaf on top of it. So it's a Corojo wrapper over a Cameroon wrapper and Dominican binders and fillers. So it's not a barber pole.
Which sounds like a Hail Mary, but from what I understand for anybody who's had it, it sounds like it was a Hail Mary for a touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
This was the Jaden Daniels Bears game,
Yeah,
buddy.
that's right.
You love to see it.
You're allowed to see it, yeah.
Cool. Anything else you can think of?
Any final thoughts before we cut off for the day?
Hopefully we don't lose all our money tonight.
Yeah.
And we need to figure out what sex tooth is because there's a big old
We're
booth
here for
that just says
Sex
Tooth on
If-
it. We
if
have no
you're
idea what it is.
Sex Tooth, if you're watching this, hit us back
Yeah.
at the Pipe and Pint
Yeah.
on Instagram. Anybody who's following along today, like I said, follow us on social media. We'll have a bunch of picks for tomorrow. We're going to live recap when we get done again tomorrow. It's our final day here. We've had a lot of fun so far. We're going to have some fun this evening.
Yep.
Got a cool dinner planned for tomorrow with one of our manufacturers, so it's going to be a good time. But yeah, follow along for a bunch of new pictures and everything like that. Otherwise,
We'll see you tomorrow.
see you tomorrow. Appreciate it, guys.